Welcome to the Fanbase Friday. I know that I'm not doing a live today, but I did want to still come and do a quick talking point for you guys from a book that I have been reading. So, for the past few months, I have been reading this book, African Holistic Health, and I wanted to share something that I like. As you know already, I'm a doula, and in doula school, one of the topics that we touched on briefly was the acupressure. And acupressure, I'm going to show you here, acupressure on the foot is reflexology. So with reflexology, you can actually tap in and, I don't want to say cure, but you can feel the effects in the particular areas. But you might not always want to touch on someone's feet. So if you don't want to necessarily do the reflexology portion, you can also do the hand acupuncture. So for a brief moment, I'm going to show you the reflexology portion. It is different from your left hand and your left foot and your right foot. They do have some differences. Same goes with your hand. So for a brief moment, I'm going to also show you the hand chart. Okay, so this is the hand chart, and with this chart, it shows you all of the different areas in your hand that you can actually feel the effects of. And I already know, like with your feet, this part of your foot is your sinuses, and I pretty much tested on my husband and anybody else who I feel comfortable touching their feet. I think I showed a video in the past of me doing it to newborns, because it is actually very beneficial to do to babies so that you can reposition them when they are so used to being all scrunched up. Sometimes issues can be caused in the spine, and you want to be able to readjust that. You can do that with the reflexology of their foot. However, I don't always want to touch people's feet. So I like that there's also the acupuncture for your hands. So I did this with my husband the other day, and some of the things, like, I feel like it might just be harder to feel if you haven't felt it, or sometimes maybe these things are kind of not tapped in all the way. But this is supposed to be like your lower back, right? So you might be rubbing on this area and you feel it in a particular spot, and you might not know that that is that, but it's actually sending signals to that part of your body to send blood circulation. And as you know, blood circulation is the pinnacle of the beginning of health. So this is, like I stated before, this is your lower back here. These are your reproductive organs on the side here. I'm just going to do a nice little brief run through. This is like your hips, your hip areas where your natural band-aid is, your natural rubber band. That's where your hips are. Your bladder is right here in the middle, going upward. Your bladder is here. And then, to kind of not go too in depth with it, basically as you go from your bladder, right, all the way up your hand is going to be those organs. So your bladder, of course, and then all the way up is going to be all those internal organs. So your intestine, your kidney, your spleen, your appendix, all of those are going up in the middle of your hand. And then on the outer part of your hand, you have your, still internal, but a little more on the outside. So you have your liver and your heart, kidney, things of that nature. Then as you get to your appendages, your fingers, you have sinuses and things of that nature, circulation. These also, in between your fingers, have their own individual thing. So yeah, like I said, I will show you once again the picture so that you can take a picture, screenshot it, whatever you want to do, and you can look through it yourself. Or if you want, you can get the book yourself. It was a really great find. It's called the African Holistic Health Book. I just thought it was so amazing because, like I stated, acupressure was one of the things that we learned in doula school. So to see it represented again in a book and to be able to go more in depth, I'm going to sit back with myself, make myself some breakfast, and read over this book with the acupressure. I literally just stated that I wanted to do acupressure, focus more on acupressure for the doula business, and then book that I already have just led me straight to it. So I'm going to do a little bit more reading on that. That's why I stated in the previous video that for July we are going to take a summer break. Make sure that you are watching the videos from the past modules and be prepared, because the end of August, new modules are coming, new classes, tests. Let me know how you did on the pop quiz that I posted, the ovulation stages. That was level 1. So if you got that wrong, go back through those modules and watch those videos again. There were some high quality videos. I make sure that all of my classes are at least 20 to 30 minutes of content, and I go through each slide and give more in-depth details. So if you have any questions or any feedback or anything you want to see, make sure you let me know. And like I said, I really appreciate you all for being here on Fanbase, for being of support. It really just warms my heart to be able to follow this passion and help families, you know. And like I say all the time, whether your goal is to avoid pregnancy, promote pregnancy, menopause, all of those things, we touch on all of that. I am a lover of knowledge. Like, I love learning new stuff, and I'm stepping out of it to actually teach the stuff that I have been learning for over 10 years. So although I'm not myself going through menopause, although I'm not myself going through pregnancy, I have always had an interest in just being able to support women and their children as they grow, you know. That is all. If you are interested in more doula content or more behind the scenes content, if you're just interested in my doula life stuff, like I stated, this is my summer break, so I will still be posting, but I'm going to be posting stuff about just like in the day of life and just following along with some of the activities that I am going to continue to do. I stated before, tennis is on my summer list. I want to finish my crochet projects that I've started. I don't even remember all the other stuff that I said before, but yeah, I'm making sure that I am intentional with this. And yeah, also, the cycle syncing is another topic. So I know we talk about the pregnancy and the postpartum and all the things of that nature, but also if you are not someone who is pregnant or looking to be pregnant or, you know, looking for natural birth control, things of that nature, then things like cycle syncing or talking about menopause is still topics that we discuss. So even if you're not in the pregnancy stage of your life or, you know, at all, we still have stuff for you, and there's still stuff for you to learn about your body. As I stated in one of the other ones, becoming your own body's guru, like walking into the doctor and being able to understand and explain to them, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is. It gives you a sense of power in using your voice and advocating for yourself in those situations. And you can only do such a thing when you know yourself. So that is why I always discuss that in the Be Your Body Guru module. We talk about the cycle syncing, the menopause stuff, all the stuff outside of just pregnancy. And then also we talk about pregnancy, postpartum, dad support for the daddy doulas, as well as the fertility stuff and the natural birth control. So yeah, if you are interested in any of those things, make sure that you subscribe at patreon.com/Amani Darling. And again, like I said, thank you so much for being a fan base supporter. I really appreciate you. Peace.